So I think that one of the most versatile recipes in the kitchen is a good muffin recipe. It's a quick bread. It takes less than 20 minutes to put this together, and you have delicious and nutritious muffins for you and your family. Now, I have a base muffin recipe that I use, and I just doctor it up. I put blueberries, I'll put bananas sometimes, walnuts, just whatever I have on hand to give it some flavoring. Or you can just eat them plain. They're still so delicious. So what I'm going to be making today is a spelt millet muffin. Now, spelt is an ancient wheat. I've been using it a lot in my kitchen lately. I use it for my bread. I'm using it for my muffins. I've been using it for my sourdough starter, and I'm just really enjoying the flavor, and we enjoy the benefits of ancient wheat. But you can use freshly milled hard white wheat, soft white wheat, because it's a quick bread, hard red wheat, soft red wheat. There's just whichever one that you want, you can use it for this muffin recipe. Muffins are very forgiving. It's if you just kind of have a few basic ingredients and throw them together, they always turn out so good. So let's jump over. I am using the spelt. I did 1 1/3 cup of spelt berries, and I milled them in my grain mill. That gave me about 2 cups of spelt flour. So now we are going to head over and put these together. I preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and these will be for a 12 cup muffin tin. All right, for the dry ingredients, I have my 2 cups of spelt flour. You can use whatever flour you want. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of baking powder. Just going to mix that up. I like to take my fingers and break up any of the baking soda, because there's nothing worse than biting into that. Okay. So those are the dry ingredients, and now I'm going to get my wet ingredients in a separate cup. So you can do whatever liquid that you want as far as milk. You can use a dairy alternative such as oat milk or almond milk. You can use buttermilk. I'm using kefir because we always have quite a bit on hand. And we'll do 1 cup. I have 1 egg. These are the eggs that I water glassed back in the summer, early summer. We are starting to eat on those because our chickens haven't been laying very well, so I am starting to eat those. Now for my sweetener, I prefer to use a 1/4 cup of maple syrup and a 1/4 cup of honey. I find that gives me the best. The best flavor, and they're very moist. I think adding the maple syrup makes them even more moist when they're finished baking. My oven is ready. Okay. I'm also going to add some vanilla. I don't measure vanilla, do you? I always just put a cap full. I don't know if that's the right way. Probably not, but that's what I do. So I'm going to mix that in. Okay, I'm just going to prepare my muffin tin. I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of olive oil. You can use the muffin cup liners. I have some, but for some reason I always just use some spray and use it that way, and I don't know why. One of my things, I guess. Now I'm going to add the milk, the egg, and the vanilla. And then I'm going to add the honey, maple syrup, and olive oil. Okay. I'm just going to get this mixed up well. What kind of muffins do you all like? I like them all. I even like bran muffins. I don't know. I just love them. Alright, so this is your base recipe. Nothing's added besides some vanilla. You don't have to add that. If you want to use all honey, you can. If you want to use all maple syrup, you can. Either one. Or you could even use, if you're doing a gingerbread muffin, you want to add some molasses a little. I did that not too long ago and it was so good. Okay, now we can do add-ins. I prefer adding a 1/4 cup of millet because it's almost like a chocolate crunch bar. It's like little crunchies in your mouth. I don't know. It's so good. I put it in all of the muffins now. I'm also going to add some pumpkin spice because it's pumpkin spice season. And I always add a few walnuts just to add some protein to the mix. Smells so good already. Alright, so I'm going to mix all of this in. I failed to mention, if you're just going to use plain milk or almond milk, since this recipe has baking soda in it, you want an acid in here, so I would add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. You won't taste it. It won't change the taste of it, but it does help with the rise and activating the baking soda. Okay, so there's our muffin batter. Now I'm going to, I like to use a cookie scoop, but you could just use a spoon. And I'm just going to start filling up the cups. Alright, these are going to go in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. Okay, once those get out of the oven, put them on a cooling rack until they're completely cool before you store them. Store them on the counter in an airtight container for 3 to 4 days, or in the freezer in a freezer safe bag for up to 3 months, and just reheat them at 300 for 10 or 15 minutes. So that's the first recipe in the series. I think you're going to love it. It's going to be super easy. Next week, same day, same time, we're going to make some scones. The only thing that you need that we didn't talk about before is canned pumpkin puree. So grab your pureed pumpkin, and we're going to make some pumpkin scones with fresh milled flour next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you here next time.